Morning all. How Indian writing become of the people and for the people. In the past 75 years, Indian writing found a new, confident voice and space for every idea and identity. A language is a dialect with an army and a navy. The pioneering sociolinguist Max Weinreich had observed English is an Indian language with its dialect and subdialects. From South Mumbai twangs to the distinctive Punjabi, Penglish and so on, also refers to an English in India. Its history runs parallel to the history of colonialism in the subcontinent. It is, along with Hindi, an official language, often surviving as a bridge language across the richly diverse linguistic landscape. The renowned Bangla writer Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, author of classics like uh, Durshandini and Anandamath, wrote a slim novella, Rajmohan's Wife, in 1604. A suspenseful cliffhanger with a classic Gothic overlap, it was published in serial form in an English periodical called Indian Field. I felt especially drawn to the forgotten novel because Rajmohan's wife was named Mandagini, which the protagonist Mandagini is my recent novel, The Blind Matriarch. Rabindranath Tagore received the Nobel Prize in Literature for his collection of poetry Gitanjali, rendered in English as Song Offerings. The Promethean genius of the polyglot Michael Madhusudanan that had him writing fluently in English and Bangla, and also studying languages with us Latin, Greek, Persian, as well as French, German, and Italian. That famously introduced blank verse to Bangla. He also learned the sum of Indian writing with ideas and themes from across the world. The pioneering Malayalam novel Indulekha by O. Chandru Menon was published in 1889. It was translated into English by John Walling by Francis Dumas in 1882. Kirubangai Satyanandan's English novel Saguna, a story of native Christian life, was serialized between 1887 and 1888 in the Madras Christian College magazine. She wrote another novel, Kamala, a story of Hindu life, before her tragic death at the age of 32. The vastly entertaining Prizit feminist novel Sultana Dream by Rokenya Sagundavat Hussain, published in 1905, remains a riveting road. There are just some of the strands in the evolution of Indian literature in English. Mulkraj Anand's Untouchable was published in 1935 to considerable acclaim. We moved to Rajmohan's Rajarau's classic and enduring Kandapura in 1938 and to Orkayan's timeless Malgudi Days in 1941. Experimentation and use of vocal vocabulary marked this phase. The watershed moment when a brilliant Indian sensibility took ownership of the language, imbuing it with its own distinctive voice and syntax, arrived to my mind in 1948 with G. Desani's apologetically original All About H. Hatter. Post-independence women writers like Kamala Markandeya and then became making an impact. Nectar in a Sieve, published in 1954, probed problems of industrialization. Narendra Sahil's memoir Prison and Chocolate Cake, published in 1964, was followed by a spate of memorable books, including the recent encounter with Kiran, like Like Ruskin Bond, who has authored over 100 books since his Room of the Roof, written when he was 17, won the John Lillian Rice Prize in 1967. Nayendra Shagal too continues to reach out to readers and remain connected to her times. Anita Desai's distinctive voice was first heard in 1963 through Carry the Peacock. Meanwhile, the multilingual Indian literatures continue to shape intense and thoughtful writing. Looking back at history and myth, looking forward to question and understand change. From Hindi to Tamil, Odia to Marathi, a new canon was emerging, that is encapsulating the idea of many languages, one literature. The second watershed in Lithuanian English writing came with Salman Rushdie's Midnight Children. The exuberant 1981 novel took the English language and transformed it. In the years to follow, the writing of Vikram Seth, Amitav Ghosh, Arundhati Roy, Jimpalagari, and so many others illuminated the literature fragment. However, the fault lines between Indian writing English were building up. While the trims of Indian English writing shine brightly in the Western world, Indian writing in that you are Anandamurthy had dubbed the Bhasha languages suffered ensure from the Indian English media and could only find resonance in the Indian language press. A.K. Ramanujam, Girish Karnad, U.R. Anandamurthy, and so many authors sought to stimulate themselves in the bilinguality and multilinguality that came so naturally to South Asia, and to seek out a continuity in tradition along with their radical interpretations of the contemporary. These literary popularities can converge by nurturing bilinguality and translations. With 22 official languages and more than 19,500 that is 19,500 mother tongues and dialects, India exists in a continuous and ongoing state of translation. The last 2 decades have witnessed a sea change in the translations of Indian writing or finding mainstream publishers, gaining visibility and receiving awards. Indian English and the Indian languages are providing inspiration to each other. Writing like Perumal Murugan, Manorajan, Bayapuri, S. Harish, and R.K. Meera are read and appreciated as the literary roots of culture probe deeper to understand and inspirations and flowering of our narratives. We have the world's second largest English speaking population after the US. Access to the English language continues to provide access to opportunity. Yet, the asymmetrical graph of the Queen's English and makeshift ladder of English have given rise to the new generation of aspirational writers and readers. Hindi publisher Aditi Makeshwari Goyal memorably described them as the generation that dreams in Hindi but aspires in English. Chetan Bhaga's simple, effective, and evocative storytelling reaches out to this segment, as does so much other popular fiction. These stories, though not literary, impact a sense of self-affirmation to a new generation of urban readers. The wild card bestsellers of new voices like Savi Sharma also hit a chord. The array of young and first-time authors across English and Indian languages, as well as the Indian diaspora and their new connectives, are inspiring. From Abir Mukherjee writing crime fiction of the UK, the US-based Magha Muzumdar's The Burning, there is a new internationalism to Indian origin voices. Or consider Chudan Timbo's Futsag or Song of the Soil, set in Grataks and Grimpongs against the backdrop of the Gorkha land movement, which is published from Fine Print, Kathmandu, and in English by Rashna Books, Gongtak, and Ballister Prose, UK. We are each other's stories, to quote Margaret Atwood's, a word after a word. After a word is power. The glorious synthesis of our multilingual literature with languages large and small, loud and quiet, giving voice to thoughts and ideas and identities is a cause for hope and optimism, reflection and belief. So friends, now we saw how Indian writing become of the people and for the people. There are the list of Indian writers, the whole 75 years of Indian independence, how many writers are there and what are the impacts, all the things are there given in the newspaper cutting. I just given this for your reference. Okay friends, see you in the next video. Bye.